Hey there, missionaries. It's Len. I'd like to present for you tonight a very special presentation of the Micheaux mission. This is a conversation that Vincent and I had back in 2018 with the actor, producer, director, friend of the show, and friend of mine, Tony Todd, who recently passed away at the age of 69 years young. I met Tony several years before that. It may have been about 2015, 2016, somewhere around that. About the two of us were cast for a play reading in New York, and at that reading, we hit it off very well. It was a new production, actually by a friend of mine, and Tony was the big get for that reading. So because of that, everybody was like in awe of him, and he's a phenomenal actor, not just for his most famous role of Candyman in the horror films. If you're a Star Trek fan, you definitely enjoyed his work on Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where he played multiple roles, and every time he did it, he was amazing, a standout. And people still talk about his performances, whether or not it was as Worf's brother or on Deep Space Nine when he comes back as an older son of Benjamin Sisko. His voice can be heard on many pieces of animation or video games. He shows up everywhere in movies and on television. Memorable performances by a memorable man, Tony Todd. And with that, at that play reading, for, reasons still unbeknownst to me and him hit it off very well. We're joking and laughing, and so much so that he agreed to come on my radio show at the time, which was a geek-centric radio show, Black Tribbles. He came on to Black Tribbles, was a hit on that, came onto the show a couple of times after that. And then, because he is a huge movie buff and even more so a history buff, was excited to come onto the Micheaux mission. But we weren't able to make it happen for one reason or another. And we stayed in touch over the years. We were texting each other and would call each other every once in a while. And it was this night in 2018. I believe it was in October because the World Series was going on. I had texted him and I said, "Yo, man, I'm trying to get you on the show. We can't make it happen." He was like, "Give me a call." And so I called him, but then on a whim, I called Vincent as well, who was not with me at the time. And I said, "Well, I'm gonna get the three of us on a three-way." So I got Vincent, myself, and Tony Todd on a three-way, and this is that conversation. This is just that phone call. It is the closest we were able to make it to him on the show, but it is a memorable appearance, if you will, of Tony Todd on the Micheaux mission. I mean, he's insane. He's a huge fan of everything New England sports. I'm a huge Philly sports fan, and so we go in on it right from the top, talking about the Eagles, who had recently beat the New England Patriots, but the New England Patriots had come back and I think had just won the Super Bowl in 2018. And he's going on about the Boston Red Sox, was there in the World Series. And then that gets us into history, talking about Jack Johnson. Tony actually played Oscar Micheaux in a play. We start talking about that. This is a completely insane conversation. It is totally uncensored. And for those of you who are lucky enough to have known Tony, he is an uncensored dude. He is a very worldly man with huge opinions, but he is unfiltered, and he is unfiltered on here. And I listening to this again, it made me realize, and we've talked a couple of times over the years since then, either through text or a couple of times been able to catch up with each other on the phone. And every time it's been absolutely great. friend might be stretching it too far, but I like to say that I knew a little bit about him. He knew a little bit about me. And with that said, the thoughts and prayers of the Micheaux mission, Vincent, all of our missionaries, and especially myself, go out to the family of Tony Todd. And if you hear this episode, I want you to know that the joy that Vincent and I had speaking with Tony is 100% authentic. The camaraderie that Tony and I shared on this phone call for you to check out is 100% authentic, just as he was. He was an amazing man, and he will be missed. This is Vincent and I speaking with Tony Todd from 2018. Enjoy.
I think we are good. I just want to do one other thing, just to be on the safe side. If y'all could just bear with me for a moment.
Bear with you. It's all good.
Okay. Vince,
We have a Yankee game to get to, though. We're do or die. Don't be laughing.
Right.
You guys aren't even in the mix, so don't be laughing at that. And I don't really see those Eagles going much further either, but okay, so don't start with me today. Okay, you guys got to worry about the NFC East, okay, because that division is shit. Wow, the Giants can come back on that shit. This isn't I'm sorry. Is this sports call-in show, Philly? I'm sorry.
Pump your brakes, man.
I only say it because I got so many friends in Philly and I love y'all, but y'all gotta take it step by step.
Because you know
And no more sliding up no greased lampposts and shit, okay? They act like we got some class.
We got to act like we've been here before. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a little bit. There's also brothers
Act
out
like
there,
we're
too,
used to
climbing up some greased lightning poles. Shit. Home with their pants all greasy and shit, full of Crisco. Come on. Or they could just lay down on the griddle and be ready to sizzle up some steak sandwiches, you know? I don't know. You better stop me while I'm not on the roll, because I got some shit to say to Kevin Hart, too. Okay?
No, you can't cut that up, yo. You can't come.
I'm good. I'm over it. I really am. I'm over it. I'm good.
All right. That's everybody's favorite country, man.
Sports talk. Stop.
See, my co-host on the Micheaux mission, Vince, who's on the other line, Vince. He's not a sports head at all.
Oh, good. Okay.
Right,
so it's
right.
just you. It's
I'm
just you.
bugging out hearing this voice talking about the Eagles in sports.
Well, you know, you don't have to go far to duplicate that meat they put in the mystery steak sandwiches, you know. But your death count hasn't been that high this year. That's more like a Chicago thing. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, you're talking so much shit. You're talking about so much shit. All these fucking beans that stung the fuck out of your mouth, sir.
Yeah, I know. My lips are all puffed up. I don't know what I'm saying. I meant the Detroit Lions. Then they got this ball out there. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Wasn't it Atlanta the year before that? Because we did go back to back. Don't make me list. Okay, we only just used twice the sorry-ass Eli Manning. So forget about those and the loss to y'all. We still got 5 in the decade. We're good. Let's go. But I saw all those posts on Twitter. We beat y'all. We took it down. Oh, we got this now. I need some more cheese whiz. Shit.
Oh my God.
Come on, man. I got an Odyssey Creed, Assassin's Creed Odyssey to break into today. And I'm a Yankee. Because I need some open world playing, man. I need some playing.
Okay. All right.
They say that the chickens and the eagles attack you in Assassin's Creed. So I don't give a damn about no chickens. I love me and chickens have a love affair, but me and them damn eagles, oh no.
He talking shit.
Yeah, I didn't even know what an eggo wing was.
Right out the box.
That corn has some eggo wings. So what the fuck is that, man? Eggo wings. It had one wing took up the whole plate, and it had feathers on it. Okay, I'm on a roll. You need to stop me, man. Stop.
Okay, all right.
Stop. Let's get serious. This is what happens when black people get together trying to talk serious shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you think I don't know who Oscar Micheaux is, okay?
Okay.
I want those ignorant Negroes to get a role one day and think they know the history of black cinema in 2 seconds. Oscar Micheaux is our pioneer. And this is the Micheaux, what is it called? The Micheaux what?
The Micheaux Mission.
The Micheaux Mission. That's a very good title. All seriousness included now. Very respectful, very good title. More brothers, you know about Oscar Micheaux.
Well, I appreciate that, man, because what our mission is that every week we review a different black film. It's totally like that. And what you can maybe help us with, because there's been this ongoing for like 130 episodes now, this ongoing dialogue of exactly what is a black film. What's a black film to you, Tony Todd?
Okay, let's look at the Leprechaun series. Was any other brother killed in one of those? The Leprechaun film series? Oh, yeah, that's right. We had Leprechaun in the Hood.
I was about to say, we had Leprechaun in the Hood 1 and 2.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't see the sequel.
Yeah, it was a lot of unanswered questions at the end of Leprechaun in the Hood. Yeah.
You guys know, true story. Years ago, when the whole duets were really hot, and Len, you may know this story already, they wanted to do a Candyman versus Leprechaun. If you go to my Instagram page right now, at Tony Todd Official, I was at Con Devlin's Monster Museum, and I'm going through, I'm all chill, I'm nowhere near the East Coast, so I have to get any, things that going to make my nose bleed, in terms of sports. And I'm walking around the corner, what do I see is a life-size mashup of Leprechaun. All respect to Warwick Davis, but I had to take a picture while I was knocking his ass out. I thought of that idea. I'm not in this to make no short movies, man. I don't do short plays. I don't do short movies. Leprechaun in the Hood Part 3. Or 3.0, whatever it is. See, listen to all this laughter we're getting. Anyway, Oscar Micheaux, for those that don't know, Oscar Micheaux was the first film pioneer of all kinds in American history. He was a son of jazz, a son of slavery, a son of industrial revolution. And he was a one-man wrecking crew. He would take his own camera, his own equipment, his own black friends and people that he knew from Harlem, take him down to the studios, which usually bordering the South near Atlanta, before the Atlanta explosion we know now. And I think all told, he made over 120 films, half of which have been destroyed or lost because they sat in a warehouse in Tyler, Texas, and people didn't want to know about this black filmmaker that made all these legendary films before any of us modern people got a hold of a camera.
That's true.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
unfortunately, some of them were learning lessons. He was learning as he go because he didn't have film school back then. There wasn't film school for Negroes. There wasn't, film school for colored folks.
There wasn't film school.
It wasn't film school. We were filmed when the incident in Birmingham happened with those beautiful black girls blown up and at the dogs loose of us on that square. They were filming that. We were in that film.
True that.
The water hoses.
Right.
True that.
I never figured a moment of what came before us, folks, and I don't think as American citizens we should ever forget. And, as long as we don't, I'm not angry at nobody. I'm not angry at the person of another race, a person that believes in love the sports team, nobody. But if you come, play in my field, bring your A game, win it, play it to win it, and let's learn to listen to each other and respect. There's things I can learn from people of all races, as there are things that people would learn from us as united black people of America if they would only listen.
Right. Hello?
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay, yeah. It sounds like it.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Let me pick it up.
No.
Then how you did that play, man?
I've been lovely, man. Everything has been grooving. Tribbles have been blowing up, won awards and the whole nine, and we're still rocking and rolling.
You called me to do this. I said I'd do whatever you guys needed, anytime, anywhere. So.
Well, you Shaka Zulu Tribble, brother. We haven't forgotten.
All
Most
right,
certainly.
cool. And did you ever get to do the play? I think you told me you were getting ready.
We did do it.
Okay,
We did do it. We did it we never did it in Philly, but no, we did do it in Philly for for one night only. But then we did it for a 3-week run in off Broadway.
Oh, that's fantastic. Why didn't you tell me? I would have looked up for the reviews.
Dude, it was the month that we did it. I hate to say it, man. It was like the month of like hell as far as like rain and snow in New York and like a big hurricane. It did not do well.
So that was Sandy or what? Was that after?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was crazy, man.
So why wasn't I called? What was the deal? I was fired.
I don't know, but that's my mistake. That's my mistake.
Another case of a black man ready to grab his lunchbox,
Here we
go to his
go.
work site, and he don't know what his work site is.
Here we go.
I would have gone down to Manpower. I would have showed up there at 5:45. Said, y'all got some jobs for temporary out of work black actors? What are my qualifications? I don't feel like choking the shit out of you, and I just want money up on it. We don't get more work. Because you come up with attitude. There's a reason for that attitude, folks.
Oh, my God. I knew this was a bad idea.
Dude, no, I mean, I probably wasn't available anyway, but I had fun doing that reading. That was good.
No, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so we are talking to Tony Todd, Vince and I talking to Tony Todd.
Yeah.
The star of Candyman, and I know that Vince, I know you hear this all the time, but you have literally scared the hell out of Vince for over 20 years.
That's why
you did.
So quiet.
Yeah. Well, I was just letting you talk. Okay. I was letting you.
Oh, okay, Vince.
But it was weird hearing the Candyman voice talking about the Yankees.
So that wasn't Candyman's voice. That was Tony's voice. Candyman don't talk like that. Candyman talks in the iambic perimeter. You know what I mean? He's just a be my victim. He's a man of few words. He's he's a woman he loves. Well, thanks for it being
that was
approaching 30 years in existence. That's great. And I'm sure you know about the Jordan Peele rumors by now, which mostly true.
We
so
did.
We'll see what happens to that. See how it pans out.
Yeah.
I know he's a fan, so we've been both involved in several horror documentaries this year. One, the Eli Roth one, and another that's exclusively Blacks in Cinema documentary, where they reached out and they got some obscure people like Billy Williams. I think they talked to Gossett, Keith David, not the people who, not the average go-to guys. Have been most black actors that are working have done at least a horror film. Stephen Williams did Jason Takes Manhattan, because there's brothers in Manhattan.
Right.
That's true.
Out in them corn cobs and open fields, and we might not get so many, but
right.
Ones that stupid enough to go into an old, decrepit, dirty house, where you hear the sound of blonde tendrils screaming. There's no need for that.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I threw out a word like tendrils. That's right. I actually went to college. I got my master's. I have command of my languages.
Big old.
Shut your Boston ass up. Go ahead, Vince.
No. I'm always curious about a role like this. Did you know immediately it was going to be something special?
I felt that, yeah. This is early in my career, 92. I'd only been in the game professionally for about 4 years at that point. But, I got my master's in theater. So I had 7 years of honing the craft. working with all the playwrights that we never get a chance to actually do on stage, you know, the Ibsens, the Saws, the Pentagon, but those round out your instrument so that then you can do anything, or you can damn well do any black drama that comes across the table. You know, I read the script. I knew that the B scenes, I knew I'd never seen anything like that in any film in my memory. So I knew it would stand out for that alone. And I love the script. I love the dynamic and the opportunity to tap into a little Phantom of the Opera kind of thing, you know, silent.
Right.
And Bernard Rose, who did the transposition and adapted it from Clive Barker's Book of the Forbidden, did an excellent job, ingenious job of transposing it not just to America but to Chicago, single-handedly. Probably today, in today's modern world, at least the scariest city in America, but also one of the richest cities in America with its blues and music history. You know, with our black politicians and where we come from. A lot of lovers, sports, food, great food choices, just like Philly, you know, just like any of our modern African-American destinations from my southern migration. Only, unfortunately, the kids are shooting each other. And I did a lot of interviews with people. So why is it now that you got so many kids shooting it? And they boiled it down to three things. A, the whole gang initiation bullshit where you're supposed to make your bones by shooting a random stranger. That doesn't work, kids. And the lack of opportunity and poverty, but that's been with us all our lives. I mean, pre-civil rights and post-civil rights. What else? What are the other frustrations? Lack of employment. Black people employed traditionally for decades. So why now? Why is it all of a sudden that another black life, young, middle-aged, or old, is worthless to that shooter? Or they think it's going to give them some sort of cred, or they're no longer afraid of the prison system, or they think that going to prison is a graduate school. It's not. It's a cycle, an endless cycle to nowhere. When, you know, I used to do a lot of gang intervention work. I grew up in Hartford, Connecticut, which is just in the same pocket as every other dysfunctional hood in America. Not all hoods are dysfunctional, but the ones that are dysfunctional, you know who you are. Okay?
Right.
When you got drug spots on every corner, you know who you are. And when you know where the dealers are and you don't do anything about it, I'm not talking about snitching folks. I'm just talking about making your neighborhood and your community one that you're proud of. So Candyman is part of that rich legacy that we come from, and a legacy that we've yet to build or reclaim for ourselves. They're never going to give us our, 20 acres and a mule, so let's forget about that. Let's just get our educations, choose divergent occupations. We're all part of this world. I don't even look at America anymore. I look at it globally. At this, global reckoning.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why the movie is still resonates with a lot of people. I mean, along with the whole horror aspect of it and everything like that. But I think
third aspect.
I think that setting of it in Chicago and some of the subtle social commentary that is wrapped up in that story, it's a shame that, like you said, near 30 years removed from the movie, and it's still very present in today's society. A lot of that same commentary. I think that's the reason why it still resonates with so many people, and I also think that's the reason why so many people still are even still feel it and still that movie, that cuts to the bone.
I don't think people know the reason why it shakes them to the bone. Like Get Out and its popularity, I think that there are three different audiences for Candyman and Get Out. And I hate to break it down on racial lines, but it's part of it. The white, black, and mixed. Mixed being just a mixed bag culturally or whatever, not just mixed race, okay? Just mixed
Right.
So white folks will tell you, if you ask a brother and a white person in the same room, maybe with headphones on so they don't have the answers, you will get 10 different answers to each question. What is it that scares you, young man? And I'm telling you, a lot of it is deep racial drums that we're stirring up, okay? There's scenes that they cut out of the original movie because the studio, what they allowed was a landmark, but what they didn't allow was a travesty because it was very clear. It was 10 minutes that they cut out the film because they thought it was too racially insensitive, okay?
Really?
Yeah, but it's okay that I go around, sticking my hook in the back of and pulling gullets out, but have a moment of intimacy with a woman of another race, that's where the studios shook their head.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So, and I've worked in this for 30 years. I don't give a damn if anybody says, I'll never work him again. He's way too arrogant, way too intelligent, and all that. We can't have it. And he's 6'5" to boot. It
Right.
might be too much. But we get our work, so we're okay. And if we can't go out of here saying what you really feel, then we're prisoners to our own tongues.
Well, that's interesting. You talk about them cutting some scenes because I think even the cut that you see, we even talked about it is striking that relationship.
Oh, we get it. We see it. We know it. But
yeah.
I'm just saying people look at it from different prisms. Every time I do a convention, everybody comes up to me and they say, well, 80% of them say, you scared the heck out of me when I was a kid. We didn't make a movie for kids. Okay.
Right.
Right. That bothered me for years. I went back to Bernard, the director, who was a friend of mine. I said, Bernard, why do these people think we made a children's movie? He says, Tony, just let it go. Anybody that saw this movie as a kid, were affected by it, they're going to remember it forever. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of talked me off that cliff. But it's not a child's play, to quote another movie. This is grown-up seriousness. And you'd be surprised how many people fail to recognize, which is why we had to make part 2, that this man is a victim of lynching in America. Okay, we don't go down that postcard history. All right, I went to the recent exhibition when it was in New York. I mean, you guys need to go to the African American Museum in D.C. I mean, we all
in D.C.
shut those images out of our consciousness. So that's where he came. That's where he was spawned. He's a ghost. It's a supernatural love story.
Yeah,
I was going to ask about. Yeah, I was going to ask about how you felt about the character's character being developed in the next 2 films, because, like you said, it was striking to me coming back to it 20 years later, just in the past, not 20 years, but almost 30 years, like how much we know about the character's backstory, but it's not in the first film.
No, it's not.
And I was wondering what happened in the next 2 that they decide to develop that story.
I put my foot down and I said, I wrote the backstory, and Bernard approved of it, and I said, you guys got to have this in there. They got to know. I didn't want to become all respect to all the movie monsters that people love.
Right.
I didn't want to be a simplistic, chasing people just for chasing kind of dude.
Right.
Okay.
That he's plugged in. And he represents every person that had a shot at something greater than where they were, that had that chance taken away from them. That's who he is. That's why people are really so afraid of him. Okay? Because if we had a Candyman around in today's age and time, there'd be a whole lot of people shaking in their boots.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's not a threat. It's not even a veiled threat. I'm just saying. Because I know the FBI listens in whenever more than 2 of us are having a conversation.
Right. Right. I don't plan on running for office.
Oh, that's all I'm talking about.
Oh my God!
All right, didn't you hear that beat just now? Did you hear that?
Hey, we hear it on every one of our shows, man.
Oh, okay. There we go.
We got a sweep on every one of our shows, man.
Oh my God! See that? Oh, they talking again. They stepped it up.
Mm-hmm. They talking about the spot.
Did that, but he didn't have an electronic bullhorn at the time, so he had to roll up a piece of cardboard and get into the center of town and go to the juke joint. Tell people, come out and see my movie tonight. Brand new movie starring us, about us, and for us. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
That's true. That's true. When you
know what? I did a play about Oscar Micheaux when I first moved to New York. It was called Micheaux. It was a long play. We never got it past the workshop phase, but I played Micheaux.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yes, I know all this history. Because there's some early photos where we resembled each other and just, and I shared love of movies like he did, I hope. And it was a great story. We were involved with it for about 3 months, and it was a great experience. Learned a lot.
Oh man, I'm sorry that didn't come to fruition. I could see his life story being like rich for the stage, man.
The problem is too much. At that time, the Perlite we were dealing with wanted everything in there, so it was a 3-hour piece. It's too much. It's like recently, since you and I did the other play together, I did a one-man show about Jack Johnson. It was another complex.
Oh, wow.
Inescapable character in American history. And that play is called Ghost in the House. We still have it in our back pocket. We did about 25 performances, but I want to go back to it eventually at some point next year. Because it's a play that I can bring it to colleges and even some progressive high schools and, spark a Q&A about why laws were written specifically against him.
Against him, yeah.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Not just because he kept knocking people out. And that's when they had 45 rounds.
Yeah.
Right.
You need 10 more rounds and you can do it.
We're talking about Jack Johnson, though, you remind me that I wanted to look this up because it's only recently that, for superficial reasons, that, number 45 pardoned Jack Johnson.
We know why he did it. We know why that happened and why Obama couldn't do it.
Yeah. I'm just surprised it never came up before. Well, I guess it would only come up with Obama.
Exactly. Yeah, it was on Obama's desk because we were developing and rehearsing it while he was still our beloved president. But he couldn't do it. It was political hot topic.
About to say people that lost their mind.
The people that didn't even know who he was would be up in arms about it. And even when 45 did it, it was a news cycle for like a half hour. But good news is that his family got a piece of paper saying that all these false charges that were leveled against their ancestor are no longer valid, and that he is the first African-American heavyweight champion of the world. And he spoke 5 languages, and he was an inventor and a politician and a bullfighter, among other things.
Right.
Because he had to be. We are a very inventive and indestructible and versatile nation of people. If we never lose sight of that, if we keep tapping into that energy, that Wakanda forever energy.
Yes.
What a year for us. We had Black Panther and Get Out.
Yeah.
Both 2 films, but it's 2 more than we had.
That's 2 more than we had the year before.
Okay. And that's a shame.
Yes, it is that. And then you roll the carpet back a little further. You can go back to Hidden Figures earlier last year.
That's right. That was part of that beginning of that cycle. Absolutely. Yeah. So and Selma was part of that. So there's more. This is a Renaissance time. If you look at this, they say that there's 500 TV shows on now on all the platforms, and there's a good 30% black roles on those 500 shows. I don't know the math of that, but that means 10 of us are working, so that's good. I'm kidding. I'm facetious. I know. This is the Renaissance period. Look at it.
But we have more
for the second season.
But we have more outlets now because you got OWN. You have BET is actually up in the ante on some of their original programming.
Right.
I know that you have in the past.
We got Facebook Live. If everybody wants to film a gang fight.
Oh, well, true that.
Well, there's that too.
I know you've been
a school of Facebook. That's what it means. That's what that is.
I know you've been approached before about doing some television. I'm surprised you haven't shown up on a series.
I doing a regular role just honestly bores me. I'm a character actor. That's where I find my joy. I like, unfortunately we turned down 3 plays that just came over our table. One I always wanted to do, which is Richard III. Shakespeare Theater in D.C., but I can't do it in 6 months. But that just means the next time they ask, I'm going to be ready to go. I don't know why. I did do a couple in the last couple of years, but they only, like Dead of Summer, only lasted one season.
Okay.
The Freeform channel. I did season 3 of Scream, which was supposed to be out by now, but because it was under the Weinstein Company,
yeah,
but this cast includes like B.I.G.'s son, R.L. Cutler, this English black actress. It's an all-black cast, okay?
Okay.
3 of the 6 episodes. So eventually, I know they're not just going to squander the project. They'll probably dump it on Netflix or something, and I don't mean that in a bad way. So, every now and then, like recently, I'm not going to mention the series. It begins with an S. But they want to read for a father who was not only starting to experience Alzheimer's, but turns out that he had molested his daughter. And I said, oh, no, I have a daughter. No. That's way too short, too truncated to be going down both of those roads at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the role is right, if it ever presents itself and I'm ever still interested, I'm open. But it's got to be really powerful. It's got to be something, I gotta wait for some the Jean-Claude Zito down for me to get interested. So
I got you.
And we both came up with the same. I mentioned his name in all due reverence.
I have a question I want to ask you. I'm trying to ask like people of note when I get a chance to talk to them. What is the best piece of advice that you ever received?
I was shooting a movie in Africa with James Earl Jones and John Lithgow and Isabella Rossellini. It was called The Last Elephant. I was there for 6 months in Nairobi for the first time in my life. Which,
wow.
Before I get to the answer, it's just anybody who's never been to Africa, particularly if you have African roots in you, you have to go. It's a destination. It's a must-do because everything is reversed. We grew up in America where we are used to us being in a minority. We're just used to that, unless we live in the hood, and then, okay. But then when you go to Walgreens, CVS, whatever, you got to deal with people, right? Africa is completely reversed. You look at the money, is people of color on the bills. Everywhere you look, the statues, the pictures of former leaders, all people of color. So once you get used to that system, you realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm in the motherland, I'm in the majority. So anyway, I'm full of myself. I'm thinking the cinematographer of this particular shoot, The Last Elephant, I guess I was doing a bit too much, and he came to me and says, look, Tony, you're already loaded. You're a full lantern. Do less. And I didn't know what he meant because I thought I always had to emphasize to make sure that my existence wasn't overlooked. And it came back to me. He says, the camera is your lover. It's in love with you. So be as gentle as possible. There's nothing that you can do that she doesn't see. And it took me about a month of meditating on that, but it got to me. It says, just do less. If you're hired because they know that it's in you. All right? So just give your simplest performance ever. And I'm still to this day working on that perfection. And one day I'm going to get it consistently right, where I do 5 movies in a row that are in that wheelhouse. And there's one that's coming out that I shot I'm extremely proud of. It's called Immortal. It's a sci-fi quartet of stories about what happens if one person in a relationship is not able to die. Okay? I'll just leave it. It's called Immortal.
Okay.
I'm very, very proud of it.
Well, we'll definitely look for that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you, and I think you knew this from Len, Man from Earth.
Yes.
Okay, so it's in that wheelhouse, but even
okay.
And I love Man from Earth, but it's deeper and better, and I was in the right place in my life.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, Tony, we're going to let you go, but I'm going to let you go with this.
Where's my money?
I knew that was coming.
So, hello? How much y'all beat us by in the Super Bowl? Hello? We got Dallas back. How much you beat us by? Yeah, so you don't even remember. That's what the champion you are. You don't remember.
Because
you didn't beat.
I was drunk.
Of course y'all was drunk. I knew you were drunk before the first ball was snapped. I'm glad that you admitted it. For all of Philly, you were drunk.
No. See, now here's what you don't know. All that whole season, I did not watch the NFL out of solidarity for Colin Kaepernick, right?
Well,
So
that's
then
great, man. That's good. So you actually boycotted your pleasure.
I boycotted, and then the Eagles get to the Super Bowl. So I'm like, yo,
That is the whole thing. What the fuck? What makes the Super Bowl so damn special?
no, I didn't watch the Super Bowl either. I did not watch the Super Bowl. I ain't have it on the radio or nothing. I waited for people to tell me, and then I got fucked up. Yes.
Okay, but I'm glad that you stuck to it, that you went that whole year, and thank God that Nike came to the assistance, so my boy is getting paid still.
Yes,
Okay?
please.
And if the
Yes.
Giants was smart, they'd get rid of that bum, Eli, I called him out of his name, and put somebody that knows how to have some court vision, field vision.
Yeah.
76ers look good.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
They look
yes, they do.
out of the East, so they ain't got nothing to worry about on that end.
They do, but I ain't gonna lie. We ain't got nothing for Boston. I ain't even gonna front.
Boston is well. Don't say that. The season ain't started yet. Don't say that. You don't know what's going to happen.
True. But if you two boys,
Did y'all lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers without LeBron in the preseason?
no, we won that game.
Okay, man, just making sure. Okay.
No, we won that game. No. Be quiet, Tony. Listen.
What?
Getting on my nerves. Listen.
Kevin Love said he got something for y'all, but go ahead.
I want to have you back. Thank you so much for talking to us tonight. I really do.
Really appreciate it.
You know I'm a man of my word. Come on.
I know.
Ben, it was a pleasure talking to you. The quiet one, the man who was the deep thinking. I like that. Write it all down, brother.
Oh, trust me. He's on Front Street. He's on Front Street. Trust me.
Hey,
The next time,
let's keep that.
the next time you're like either in town or in New York, I want to try and arrange a time where we can sit down and do a proper Micheaux mission and review a black film of your choice.
Yeah. Awesome. Let me tell you about something that they are doing for me in New York this year. It's either the 1st or the 2nd of December, but Fangoria is giving me a lifetime achievement award in the city.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I'm in the process of trying to guide them to who they should be talking to that might have some, interest. So that's right down the road for you, right?
Yes.
I'll give you more details as I know. How's that?
Most definitely. Okay. Then we'll try. Let's see if we can make a connection around that time, man. Let's make it happen.
Okay. Yeah, that
love
would be perfect, and that would assure that I have, there's more than just me in the room.
Yes, sir.
I get nervous. And I get surrounded by old ass senators and shit that don't know shit when they hear it. Come on.
All right.
Now, all of us have had some sort of higher education. Did you ever do anything like boofing when you were in college? You know what I'm talking about?
No, not me. Yeah,
okay, you know what boofing is?
No.
I'm not sure I know what boofing is. What is boofing?
Right. One of the things that Mr. Kavanaugh, your new Supreme Court Justice for the next 40 years, said that he and his buddy used to do. And apparently, if you Google it, it's taking an oil funnel and pouring beer in it and putting it into the funnel into another place.
What the?
To get you drunker faster.
Why would you? Oh,
when
my
I first
God.
heard that, so that's what they did after they won the Super Bowl. I didn't understand.
Here we go. And on that note,
Yeah.
on that note, I'm gonna let you go, brother.
And I'll text you, Len, and let you know about details. Okay.
Most definitely, please do, man.
You guys can make it. I'll be honored. It'll be great. And if we can contribute to whatever they're planning on doing, it would also be great. Okay, it's Tony Todd, who used to be the editor of Fangoria. I don't know if you ever met him.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, he's an Italian kid. He thinks he's his brother from another mother. I think his uncle worked at Sigma Sound and Philly International back in the day. So
cool. Cool. Okay. All right, then we will make it happen, man. I'll be looking for that info.
The triple still in operation?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We would definitely, because I'm say hi to Tribble Nation, and when you saying you're going to be in the area in December, we're going to make it a whole Micheaux, Tribble, whole thing. We're going to all try and come out. Celebrate.
Will you bring a placard with Michelle's name on it? Because I can riff during my acceptance award.
Yes, we will. We'll bring it all for you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right.
All right, Tom.
All
God bless,
right.
man.
Good to meet you, man. I'm looking forward to laying eyes on you.
Absolutely. Me too.
All right. God bless you guys.
All right.
Peace.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah. Woo.